What's going on, everybody? Little Chris here to bring you another APA 8-Ball League match of mine. And in this match, I'm playing up against a skill level 7, so this is going to be a race to 5. So let's see how I can do. Okay, I won the coin flip, so I'll have the first break. This is still during the session where I'm always trying to make the 8-ball on the break. So I will be hitting the ball that's in the second row, which is the 11 ball for this rack. And I'll be putting bottom spin with a touch of right spin on the cue ball so that I can draw the cue ball over to the side rail and have it come back and hit the rack again. So let's see how this first break will go. So it looks like the 8 ball was headed towards the top side pocket, but then was blocked by the 12 ball, and I ended up with a dry break. So let's see what my opponent's opening shot's going to be, because it doesn't look like he has much to work with. Personally, I don't really like solids with the 2, 4, and the 5 tied up next to the 8 ball there, but stripes doesn't really have a good opening ball to start with. So I think my opponent's trying to cut the 6 ball into the bottom side pocket. That is what he was trying to do. He was successful, and he gets the 2 ball away from the 8 ball. So now he has to get the 4 and the 5 away from the 8 ball, which he can do right here if he shoots the 7 ball into the top side pocket. But it looks like he chose not to. He has another chance to do it here if he shoots the 2 ball into the bottom side pocket. That is what he was trying, but he overcut the ball. So I get to come to the table with my stripes, and where the cue ball is at, I don't really like my starting position. I do not like the 15-10 combination because it's not wired. And even if I were to shoot the combination, I can't really play position for another ball. The 1 ball blocks my 14 and 13 ball. I can't really guarantee that I'll get position on the 15 ball after the combination. So what I end up trying to do is use my 12 ball to knock my opponent's 1 ball into the upper right corner pocket. That way that pocket opens up with my stripes, or for my stripes. And then with top spin on the cue ball, I just try to push the cue ball over to the bottom rail there so that way I can try to give my opponent a difficult shot. So I was successful at pocketing my opponent's ball, but not successful at getting my cue ball over to the short rail, and now he has a free shot at the 3 ball. Okay, so my opponent shoots his 3 ball in. He must have had some bottom spin on the cue ball for it to react that way. And now I'm not sure if he has position on a ball. I mean, it looks like he can hit his 4 ball. He might be trying to cut it into the top side pocket. That is what he was trying to do, and he overcut that one. So now, with the 1 ball no longer blocking the upper right corner pocket, the table is a little bit more accessible to me. I still don't like this 15-10 combination, and that's why I start with the 12 ball. And with bottom spin on the cue ball, I'm just going to try to play a stop shot to hold position for the 14 ball. And then from the 14 ball, you're going to see me elevate my cue so that I can do another stop shot on the 14 ball to play position for the 11. Then I think here When I shoot the 11 into the bottom side pocket, I had top spin with some left spin on the cue ball, and I think I was trying to get the cue ball to run into the 15 ball. That way I can shoot the 10 ball next and then have that pocket available for the 15 ball afterwards. But you see, I must have not had enough left spin on the cue ball as I missed hitting the 15 ball. So now I can still try to play this combination, but like I said, I really don't like it because it's just not a wired combination. And if I miss that combination, I'm more than likely going to sell out the table. So now I have my choice between shooting the 13 ball or shooting the 9 ball. And with where the cue ball is currently at, that's why I decided to shoot my 9 ball, because I'm at an angle to where I can try to push the cue ball 2 rails with top left spin, have the cue ball come off the side rail and then the short rail, and then try to break out the 10 and the 15 again. But I missed the shot. The 9 ball even blocks my 2 ball from going 2 rails. And when I picked up my bridge hand, I accidentally moved the 8 ball. Now, fortunately in APA, that is not considered a foul. I just have to try to put the 8 ball back to its original position, or at least close to its original position. And now it looks like my opponent will have a free shot at his 2 ball. I don't know. I think I probably would have played the 5-4 combination from here. And now it looks like he undercut the 2 ball. His last couple of shots where he was going to the side pockets, he overcut, and on this one, he undercut. And now, just to show you how much I don't like this combination, I'm going to try to play a defensive shot using my 9 ball. But I must have not cut it thin enough, because what you're going to see is the result of a double kiss. The cue ball is going to hit the 9 ball twice, and then watch where it lands. All right, so my opponent can't see his 2 ball, but he has access to his 5 and 4, and he's probably going to play a 5-4 combination. So had I cut that 9 ball just probably a little bit thinner, I think I would have gotten the result that I wanted, and that's to have my cue ball hide behind my 10 and 15. So it looks like he is going for the 5-4 combination. He'll have automatic position on the 2 ball as the 5 ball tracks down table. Looks like he almost scratched there. So here he should be able to shoot the 2 ball into the lower right corner pocket and get automatic position for the 5 ball in the upper right corner pocket. And then most likely the 8 ball will be going into the lower right corner pocket. And there goes the first rack, and I'm off to a rough start, being down 0-1. Now in rack 2, let's see how my opponent breaks. Okay, more of a head-on hit. Cue ball pops into the air and gets kicked around. He was successful at making the 1 ball into the bottom side pocket, so he'll be solids. And it looks like his 6 ball is his only trouble ball. Everything else looks really good. Okay, looks like he's going to play the 4 ball into the bottom right corner pocket, plays the cue ball rail first, then gets a bump on the 5 ball. Now it looks like he has to shoot the 5 ball into the upper left corner pocket. But he undercuts the ball and catches the side rail. So I'm back at the table with stripes again. So it doesn't look like I have very much to work with. I do have the 13 ball into the side pocket, and I'm going to play that with a center cue ball hit so that I get what's called a rolling cue ball, meaning that by the time the cue ball gets there, it'll start actually rolling forward as if I hit it with topspin and have the cue ball roll towards the middle of the table. And I was actually playing position on the 10 ball, but then when I walked right over here, I saw that I can see the 11 ball. Then I changed my mind, come back around to the other side of the table and shoot the 11 ball in with also a center cue ball hit. And just bring the cue ball near the middle of the table again. And now I have a shot at the 12 ball. I can shoot the 12 ball into the bottom side pocket, and that's going to open up my 15 ball. And then there I just check to see where the shot line is on the 10 ball so I know where to put my cue ball. So I hit this one also with a rolling cue ball so it just rolls forward, gently past the shot line of the 10 ball so I can shoot the 10 ball into the upper right corner pocket. And right here, I'm checking to see where I need the cue ball to be so I can shoot my 9 ball into the lower left corner pocket without the 6 ball being in the way. Because what I do at this point here is shoot the 10 ball into the upper right corner pocket, and the cue ball rolls over to the side rail for position on the 14. But I don't get the ideal position that I want, because now the cue ball is going to track towards the 8 ball. So what I end up trying to do here is I put some topspin on the cue ball so I can get completely underneath the 8 ball and run into it to where I should still be able to see my 9 ball. You see here I don't. I still hit the top side of the 8 ball and I can't even see the 9 ball now, or at least the 6 ball blocks more enough of it for me able to not be able to shoot it into the lower left corner pocket. I'd probably have to play like a rail first shot. So now here I am contemplating, what am I going to do? Do I try to back cut the 15 ball into the bottom side pocket? That's out of the question. Do I try to play rail first into the 9 ball? Well, instead, I tried to back bank the 15 ball into the top side pocket. The shot actually does go. I have to be able to miss the 8 ball, and I'll be able to catch the right side of the top side pocket. And what I'm contemplating here is where exactly I'm going to hit on the cue ball so that way I can get some sort of billiard onto the 9 ball and still be able to shoot the 9 ball into the lower left corner pocket. And I think what I end up doing here is using bottom spin with a touch of right spin. Yeah, I made the bank shot and I got the billiard, but now the 9 ball is in a worse position than it started. I can't even see it. So I can see that the 9 ball can go into the upper right corner pocket. So this little measuring system that I use here is what's referred to as double the distance, where I put the tip of my cue where the center of the ghost ball position would be, and then put my fingers right where the rail starts. Pull my cue back until the tip is on the rail, and then see where my fingers are at, and then aim where my fingers are at in relation to the cue ball, because that's how I'm going to kick into the rail. That'll at least get me a hit on the 9 ball so that I don't foul, like so. And you can see it was heading towards the upper right corner pocket, but most likely end up, what is that? That is an overcut to where it ends up running into the 8 ball. And this is the last position that I want to be in, to where I just leave a free, wide open table for my opponent to run. So it looks like he's going to start with the 5 ball into the top side pocket. Okay, cue ball rolls forward. He now has position on the 3 ball, or he could shoot the 6 ball. Looks like he's going to shoot the 3 ball. Wonder if he'll get position on the 7 ball next. Looks like that's what he was trying, but instead goes for the 6. So maybe not. Now we shoot the 2 ball. He's going to use the 7 ball as his transition ball to the 8 ball. Ooh, and I actually think he overcut that ball and hit the 7 ball from behind. And it didn't even look like he didn't have any, what would that be, right spin on the cue ball because the cue ball ends up on the wrong side of the 8 ball. Now I've got this long shot on the 9 ball for the lower left corner pocket. And I end up trying to play this with some topspin just so I can push the cue ball over to the short rail and then come back out for position on the 8 ball. No side spin at all on this shot. Just like that. And you saw my opponent mark the 8 ball on the first rack, so I actually marked the 8 ball on this one. And I actually have this little Alvin the Chipmunk figurine because one of my teammates is named Alvin. And this is his marker that he uses to mark the 8 ball. Here you see I'm playing the cue ball with bottom spin just so I can hold the cue ball. And I take the second rack down. The score is 1-1. So now here's rack 3 and I'm back to breaking. All right, so we're not successful at making the 8 ball on the break. We did drop the 9 ball into the lower left corner pocket, so I'm going to be stripes again. And the first thing I spot is how the 8 ball is cluttered up next to the 4 ball, 1 ball, and 5 ball, and I'm in a position where I can deal with it. So I'm going to shoot the 12 ball into the upper left corner pocket, and with some bottom right spin, I'm going to try to separate the 8 ball from those 3 solids. I even made my opponent's 4 ball. So the 8 ball is a little bit more out into the open. I don't think it passes by the 2 ball, but at least can go into the bottom side pocket, maybe even to the lower right corner pocket. But now I need to free up my 11 ball and 14 ball, which I can do using the 10 ball. With some topspin on the cue ball, I try to cut the 10 ball into the lower right corner pocket and have the cue ball break apart the 11 and 14. And I'm successful with the breakout, but I overcut the 10 ball. So now my opponent has a chance at his solids. And it looks like he's going to have to start with the 1 ball. Cue ball should automatically run into the 5 ball, opening it up, or at least pushing it away from the 8 ball. So just like that. Now he'll shoot the 2 ball. Probably just roll forward for a position on the 7 in the lower left corner pocket. Just like so. And then maybe the 6 ball will be next. Or maybe not. Maybe he'll be shooting the 5 ball into the top side pocket and just have the cue ball roll down for position on the 3. Okay, and now he can just roll the cue ball forward to play the 6 ball into the upper left corner pocket after making the 3 ball. Just like that. I wonder what he's going to do here. Okay, it looks like he's going to play the 8 ball in the same pocket as the 6. I probably would have put a touch of right spin on the cue ball so that way the cue ball is closer to the middle of the table and he wouldn't have this sharp of a cut on the 8 ball. Oh, but he overcuts the ball. That gives me a chance back at the table with a wide open table. All of his solids are gone, so I have no obstacles. So I pretty much start with the 10 ball with some bottom spin so I can hold position for the 11 ball. Now I'm going to play the 11 ball into the upper right corner pocket with a little bit of top spin and some left spin. I'm going to come around the 14 ball and play that into the same pocket. And then here I kind of wanted to just stun off of the 14 ball so I can play the 15 ball in the bottom side pocket. But you can see the cue ball starts to roll forward, so I don't think I put enough bottom spin to actually stun it off of the 14. So now I kind of tried to stun off the 15 ball as well, so I can have the cue ball come off of the short rail and then come back towards the bottom side pocket so I can have position on the 13 ball. Did you see how the cue ball kind of hesitated before it started rolling forward? So I don't actually think I hit nowhere near low enough. It probably had just a little bit of topspin. And you even saw me where I wanted the cue ball to hit the short rail and then spin over for position on the 13. So now you see me doing my measuring system that I demonstrated in my one rail banks and kicks video as I tried to bank this 13 ball into the top side pocket. I do have a touch of bottom spin with some right spin so I can try to get position on the 8 ball while banking the ball in, and I am successful. So let me go get little Alvin to mark the pocket. 8 ball in the upper left corner pocket. There we go. And I now take the lead 2-1. All right, now with rack 4, let's see if I can get a better break. Hey, 8 ball's moving, almost gets kicked around to the lower left corner pocket. It looks like I made another stripe on the break. I think that was the, what is that? The 12 ball. This is 4 racks in a row that I've been stripes. So here I'm going to start with the 15 ball with some top spin and just gently roll the cue ball for position on the 10 ball. I think there I was glancing to see if the 11 ball was able to pass by the 8 ball, and I don't think it did. And with this shot here, I'm going to be shooting the 10 ball into the corner pocket with some center ball and left spin. I have the cue ball come off the side rail for position on the 13 ball. Now, I actually didn't get enough spin off of the side rail. I wanted to be a little bit more straighter because I actually wanted to be able to play the 14 ball into the top side pocket after this. But now you just saw me look, and the 14 ball can go into the same side pocket that I'm shooting in right now. So I'm actually going to let the cue ball go a little bit farther and shoot the 11 ball in the top side pocket. Now from here, I can just gently roll forward for position on the 9 ball. Now when I shoot the 9 ball in the upper left corner pocket, I do hit the cue ball with a little bit of right spin so I can kill the rebound angle off of the short rail and have position for the 14 ball in the bottom side pocket. And then with bottom spin, I just stop the cue ball for position on the 8. And then call the 8 ball in the lower left corner pocket. And I break and run the 4th rack. Now I'm up 3-1. Here we are with rack 5, and I'm not going to give up on making the 8 ball on the break. Ugh. No real movement out of the 8 ball. I lost control of my cue ball as it ends up behind the rack. And I got a dry break. My opponent claims solids, making me stripes again for the 5th consecutive time. So, looks like he's going to play the 5 ball. I'm not sure what ball he's going to play next. Draws the cue ball back a bit. Looks like he might have position on the 1 ball. I couldn't really tell how he missed that 1 ball. Looks like he bobbled it out of the corner pocket, though. I couldn't tell if it was an overcut or if it was an undercut. Now, unfortunately for me, that 1 ball ties up next to my 14 ball, so I am going to have to deal with it. 9 ball cannot go past the 3 ball. The only legible ball I have is the 15 ball. So I actually shoot the 15 ball in the top side pocket and then try to have the cue ball break apart the 14 and the 1 ball. So I put some bottom spin on the cue ball to avoid scratching in the upper left corner pocket and a little bit of left spin to keep the cue ball from touching the side rail. Successful with the breakout, but I actually thought I was hooked behind the 1 ball, and then when I got over here, I saw that I can actually see a sliver of the 14 ball, and that sliver was just enough. So I do shoot the 14 ball into the lower right corner pocket. Cue ball is just going to track towards the side pocket, or at least between the diamond and the side pocket on our left side. Runs right into the 13 ball. And then right here, I don't have a shot. Glancing to see if I could see a sliver of the 9 ball, because if I could, I would try to cut it. Can't really do anything with the 12 ball, so I elect to do a offensive slash defensive kick shot by trying to kick the 11 ball into the lower left corner pocket. And if I miss it, well, then I should be kind of hidden behind my stripes. He wouldn't be able to really do anything with this 6 ball, or I think that's the 3 ball that's right underneath me. And if I'm successful at kicking the 11 ball in, then I can shoot the 13 ball or the 9 ball. Okay, so I'm unsuccessful. He can't really do anything with the 6 ball. Can't really do anything with the 3 ball, so that's pretty safe. I think he was able to see the 2 ball. I just wasn't sure if he could make it. Oh, holy crap, he could make it. And that was actually a really good shot. I was actually surprised he was able to dodge everything else on the table with the way he hit that ball. Looks like he's going to shoot the 7 ball in the lower right corner pocket. Oh, but gets an unlucky kiss off of the 1 ball and scratches. I now have ball in hand. And what ball do y'all think I'm going to start with? Y'all should know me by now. I always try to start with the hardest ball on the table to play position on, and that's going to be the 9 ball. So I try to cut the 9 ball into the lower right corner pocket and have the cue ball come off of the side rail with a little bit of right spin and a little bit of bottom spin. I actually wanted to get position on the 13 ball, but I actually hit the cue ball a little too hard and it rolls too far. I mean, I could cut the 13 ball, but I ended up changing my mind and shooting the 11 instead. Even shoot it left-handed. So I didn't really like that I ran into the 10 ball, so now I have to kind of bridge over, or I'm sorry, that's the 8 ball. I'm shooting at the 10 ball. I have to bridge over the 8 ball, which is why you saw me kind of throw my hand up in frustration. And that little lucky kiss that I got off the 8 put me right in the window so I can see the 12 ball. I can actually shoot right between the 6 and the 7 ball. I get a lucky kiss off of the 1 ball, and I have position on the 13 ball. And I shoot the 13 ball into the upper right corner pocket, and I use a little bit of low right spin to pull the cue ball over to the side rail so I can have position on the 8 ball for the top side pocket. There we go. Let me go grab little Alvin. 8 ball, top side pocket. And I'm on the hill, 4-1. All right, now in rack 6 and on the hill, I'd like nothing more than to be able to win this set by making the 8 ball on the break. So let's see how this goes. Ooh, got a lot of movement out of the 8 ball. Gets kissed off the 3 and falls into the top side pocket, allowing me to win the set 5-1. Holy cow, what a way to end the set. And that's going to do it for today's video. Now, did y'all get just as excited as I did when that 8 ball fell in the last rack, allowing me to win the set 5-1 in only 8 innings? Man, I sure hope so. I had a bit of a rough start in that first rack, but then was finally able to settle into my groove, and I even broke and ran the 4th rack. Now, let me know what y'all think about that scoreboard up above, because I really like it and I want to keep using it in future videos. And don't forget, if there's any type of advice on shot selections or run out patterns or anything that you'd want to give me or my opponent, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below with the timestamp of the shot of where your advice would begin. And if you like what you saw, then give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and help me reach my next milestone giveaway of 75,000 subscribers. Take care, everybody.